News tonight.
I'm Kate Collins. Tonight, anti-terror cops armed with rifles to patrol Rundle Mall. Food prices soaring at Adelaide Oval. We break down the costs. The deadly disease that's on the rise, how to spot the symptoms. Shock new details about Sam Kerr's prison stay. And how Qantas is helping passengers fly more for less. 9 News, your news, nightly at 6 on 9 and on 9 Now.
Hop into Cheap as Chips this Easter for a happy Cheapster.
Cheap as chips.
Milky Bar or Kit Kat Easter Casket, always a hit at just $7.99 each. Look and feel cool with a 30% off all C&G summer clothing. And don't miss these cheap everyday deals. Lynx deodorant, 2 for $7. And pick up 2 65-gram Cadbury favourites, a hot buy at 2 for just $10. Live cheaper this Easter with Cheap as Chips.
Streaming live via the FIVEAA Player app
On DAB Digital Radio.
and on 1395 AM.
This is 5AA, always Adelaide.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
5AA Afternoons with Stacey Lee.
At 6 minutes past 3 and we're live on the Foodland Supermarkets Facebook and YouTube live stream now, so jump on there and take a look. After 3:30 we are going to be talking about Footy Park because Charles Sturt Council met last night. They want your ideas. What would you like to happen at Footy Park once the Crows move out? Now, yeah, we know it's a while away until the headquarters at Theberton is built. But anyway, let's put that aside. Charles Sturt Council wants to know what you want to see at Footy Park. Now, I've got an idea, and I think it should be a museum of South Australia's modern history. I think we need a room dedicated to our pigeon overlord, the pigeon in Rundle Mall. It's one of the best structures we've got, one of the best pieces of public art that we have, if you ask my opinion. Way better than the pigs, way better than the moles balls. It's controversial, I know, but I really like the pigeon. I want to hear from you, though. What would you love to see in a museum of South Australia's modern history? 8223 0000. I've still got a family pass to Wallace Cinemas to give away to the best caller as well, but we've had quite a few, so you've got some stiff competition. Make sure you're in the running to win it. 7 minutes past 3 here on 5AA, and we are trying to bust some costs.
Helping you save a few dollars.
Who you gonna call?
Cost Busters.
And this week, Karen Ely from Women Talking Finance is here in the studio for Costbusters. Thank you, Karen.
Hi, Stacey.
Well,
Great to be here.
Thanks for your time. We're talking insurance this week.
We are talking. It's very topical because from the 1st of April, there's going to be some increases to private health cover.
I've already got mine.
Ouch.
I got my premium increase emailed to me, when was it? Last night, I think, so at 1 a.m. They're very busy over at the insurance company. 1 a.m. sending me my increase. 7% increase.
That's quite high. The government has approved increases because the private health covers actually have to apply every year to have their increase approved. So the increase amount for this year has been around the 3% mark. So perhaps there's maybe some added extras or things there that you might have added on, because most of them are around that 3%.
I might have to shop around. Now, if I do that, I don't have to see out any more waiting periods, do I?
No, that's right. So as long as you make them aware that, so if you've already got a policy and you're transferring to another policy, you won't have to have those waiting periods. There's sometimes different companies might have some restrictions around different types of procedures or surgeries that there are still waiting periods anyway, but most of those, they will honour whatever those waiting periods that you had with your current policy.
Okay. And we're not just talking health insurance this afternoon, all insurances, home, contents, life, income protection. So if you've got a question, make sure you give us a call, 8223 0000. And when I say if you've got a question, I'm sure it's much better suited for Karen to answer your question than me.
Happy to answer your questions.
So let us know, 8223 0000. So yeah, health insurance premiums going up. I might have to do some shopping around if 7%'s not the norm.
Yeah, so they actually published them. So Medibank's gone up 3.3%, Bupa's 3.61%, HCF has gone up 2.89%, and NIB's gone up 4.1%.
Mine's through NIB, but it's an external
right.
one, so maybe that's why.
Maybe that's why. But that one is just over 4%, so it is the most expensive of the four main private health covers. I did wonder why they were approved a higher amount than others, so I went back to have a look at previous years, and theirs hasn't gone up by as much as the other insurers in previous years, so they're probably playing catch up right now. It's the only kind of thing that I can have a look for.
Of course, great, okay.
But I think it's always a good idea when the annual premiums come around that it's a good prompt and an opportunity to say, well, are there better policies out there? But also having a look and understanding what it is that you're currently insured for. And I encourage people to do an audit. So over the last 12 months, if you've got extras and things like that, what things have you actually used? Like, are you using the optometry, dentist, chiropractor, massage, those things? So if you're not actually using them, then it might be a case of going back and say, well, I can drop some of those benefits because we're not actually using them. And then you can always forward plan as well to say, over the next 12 months, is there any surgery that my doctor's kind of given me a heads up that I might need to have scheduled in and things like that. So you can be quite proactive about what is my individual or my family's health and medical needs over the next 12 months to help you analyse what things in the policy are important to have and what things that you could take out to reduce some of the premiums.
It always feels risky doing that, though. I'm not using optometry at the moment because a few years ago I had laser eye surgery, and it's been life-changing. It's so worth it. But I still have optometry cover just because it comes with the extras package or whatever, and I think, well, what if I do need it? What if something happens? And I don't know why. Is it FOMO, a fear of missing out, or is it just, that's why you have insurance in case something happens? And
That's right.
To take it away then makes me worry that...
Yeah, exactly. And I have those conversations all the time with people. So when people have got like lots of life cover and then suddenly they don't need it anymore, and they're like, but I've been paying the premiums all these years, I'll reduce it and then something will happen to me and I need to be paid out on it. So we're hardwired to kind of have those thoughts around that. One that's really obvious, especially for women, is after I'd had my children, I took off the pregnancy cover because that actually contributes to quite a lot of the premium. So there might be some things that, I want to keep just in case, but there's kind of some no-brainers like that you're not going to use.
Yeah, and of course that's only something that women have to put on their private health.
That's
so
right.
There you go. All right, now we are talking all types of insurance as well, not just health insurance. House and cars gone up lately too.
They have. So I've noticed that car insurance premiums have gone up about 10% year on year for the last couple of years. And there's some reasons for that, Stacey. So a lot of the parts to replace car parks have gone up. So has the labour to do that. But since COVID, people are actually holding on to their cars longer rather than buying newer cars. So when they are in accidents, they're a lot more expensive to actually repair. So the insurers have genuine cost increases as well that they're now passing on to us as policyholders.
Oh, we don't like to hear sensible reasoning when it comes to insurance though, Karen. We like to... They're an easy target, the insurance companies. They take a lot of our money. We like to give them a kick when we can.
Yeah, that's right. But we might have to cut them a little bit of slack. I'm not sure it attributes to the whole 10% increase, but there are some reasons why. So I'm very much about, yes, here's what's going on, but what are some practical things that we can do and the listeners can do to actually look at reducing their premiums?
And sometimes shopping around isn't that easy. Because I don't trust any of those comparison websites because I worry that I'm just going to get calls for months afterwards once I enter my details. But...
Yeah, Stacey, your concerns are very valid. And I don't know if this is the right place to say or not, but you don't have to put in your details and your phone number. You could just put in a dodgy phone number, but what it's allowing you to do is quite often you just want to use it as like that first step. So you can kind of put into the calculator, get the amounts on there and then use that as a comparison for other ones. So
that's genius. That's never even crossed my mind. Because it's true, you're just getting an idea of what it costs. There's no reason they would need your details, and then that's when they do start calling you.
Correct, because I tried that a couple of years ago and I just got every day they were calling me.
Yes.
It just really got too much. So we've got that issue, but when you're actually looking through the policies, that's where you get all the detail from. So it can be a really dry and boring job to actually go through and have a look at what's covered, what's not covered. So it is a big job. And sometimes if you find that process a bit daunting, there's lots of brokers out there as well that you can actually get them to do it.
Does it cost money?
They typically don't charge to do that, but the insurance companies will actually pay them a commission for their time. Sometimes it's loaded into the premium, but other times it's just a cost that the insurer takes on as well. So it's about doing a bit of research there.
So you'd want to make sure of that beforehand.
Absolutely, yes.
It's 3:15 here on 5AA. We are talking cost busters with Karen Ely from Women Talking Finance and talking about insurance policies today. Different types of insurance: car, contents, home, life, income protection, health insurance. So if you've got an insurance related question, give us a call. 8223 0000 is the number to call. We'll be back with more after this.
Get great value hands down this Easter at Coles with 40% off Cadbury Dairy Milk Easter Hunt Box, 306 grams, just $8. That's great value hands down at Coles. Offer ends Tuesday while stocks last, no rain checks.
Imagine bouncing out of bed in the morning, brimming with energy, and all before your first sip of coffee. New Caruso's Vitamin K2 and Ubiquinol is a game-changing formula with 2 powerhouse nutrients to support your body's energy production and energy levels and maintain the health of your heart. Caruso's Vitamin K2 and Ubiquinol is made in Australia, comes with a money-back guarantee and is available from leading pharmacies and health stores. Always read the label and follow the directions for use.
Lee Kernaghan's new tour, Boys from the Bush, the concert, is heading to Adelaide for one night only at the Hindley Street Music Hall on Friday, 19th April. Lee will perform all the hits and all your favourites in a spectacular new production that features his hot new band. Don't miss Australia's own country music legend, Lee Kernaghan, and his special guests at the Hindley Street Music Hall on Friday, 19th April. Book now on ticketmaster.com.au.
This one goes out to the passengers in the car, to the nearly 1.5 million Australians that don't have a driver's licence. Toyota Australia believes everyone deserves to find freedom behind the wheel.
Every day is a new opportunity to choose your own journey in life. Getting where you want to go is just a matter of planning how to get there. Are you arriving on your own schedule or someone else's? Imagine the freedom to go wherever you want, whenever you want, and taking those who mean the most to you along for the ride.
Search Toyota Find Your Drive today and consider the benefits of being in the driver's seat. Oh, what a feeling. Toyota.
More than 17,000 Australians, both young and old, will die from stroke or heart attack caused by hypertension or high blood pressure this coming year. Many could be prevented through early detection. But right now, an Adelaide research team is seeking volunteers for a study to trial a potential treatment. If you've been diagnosed with moderate hypertension and you're between 18 and 72, you could be eligible. Go to fusiontrials.com.au/hypertension or call 08 7077 6996. You will be compensated for your time.
There are electrical safety recalls on solar home batteries, branded LG, LG Chem, and inside some Solax products. Affected batteries may overheat and catch fire, resulting in injury, death, or damage to property. Incidents have occurred and caused damage to property. Even if you have checked before, please check again by visiting lghomebattery.com.au or by calling 1300 677 273. That's 1300 677 273.
Do I buy first or sell first?
Wherever you are on your home buying journey, CommBank's lending specialists offer all the support and tools you need, every step of the way. Search CommBank Home Loans today. Applications are subject to credit approval, conditions, fees and charges apply.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
5AA Afternoons with Stacey Lee.
It's 19 minutes past 3 here on 5AA, live on the Foodland Supermarkets Facebook and YouTube live stream this afternoon with Karen Ely from Women Talking Finance. She's our cost buster today, and we're talking about how you can save $1 or $2 on different insurance policies. If you've got car insurance, home insurance, life insurance, or income protection as well. We'll get to that in just a moment, but we were talking about car insurance, Karen. How can we save a few extra dollars? Are there things you can tweak here and there?
Yeah, that's right. So you can take a higher excess. So sometimes it might only cost you'll save a couple of $100 in excess. So if you haven't had to use it for 12 months, it normally pays for itself. So you can look at increasing your excess. Another thing you can actually do is some insurers will take into consideration your annual mileage. So if you don't actually drive a lot, you could have a look at a policy that does look at the annual mileage, because you can reduce some of the costs there through that.
It's a good idea.
Yeah. And some of the other things around having really good alarms and security systems, so you're kind of de-risking for the insurer, chances of being stolen, things like that. So there's a couple of things there that you can do with your car insurance.
I worry about changing insurance over because at the moment I get, a bit of a loyalty discount or whatever it's called, because I have all my insurances through one provider. And then, you kind of think, oh yeah, I get a 5% off or whatever it is. I don't think it's that much.
Yeah, 5% seems like a bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people fall into that false sense of security of being loyal and getting that loyalty discount. I think it is a good idea to bundle your insurances with one insurer, because you do get those discounts. So that is a really good thing to do as well. But quite often, insurers will want to poach new customers, so they'll offer a discount rate. So sometimes those discount rate that they offer new customers are better than those loyalty benefits that you're getting. So it's very much worth still shopping around to see when they have sales and bonuses, having a look, is that the time to make a change to it?
Okay.
Yeah, loyalty doesn't always pay when it comes to insurers, I'm afraid, or banks. I shouldn't leave them out.
No. I mean, well, they're not loyal to us.
No,
so why be loyal to them?
not.
Yeah, okay.
The other thing we can do is, if you're paying monthly premiums, if you can afford to switch to annual premiums, you can also have some cost savings there. The other thing around annual payments, and we'll be cutting it pretty time for the time frame, but because those rate rises on the private health cover aren't going up to the 1st of April, if you contact your insurer to prepay before the rate rises, you can lock in this year's rate at the lower rate rather than waiting for the increase to come in a couple of weeks' time. So just a little nifty one there that could be helpful.
Oh, but health insurance would be expensive if you're paying.
Yeah,
for
if you're prepaying it for the year. Yeah, so you really got to look at if you've got any cash aside there or emergency savings that you could use. It really comes down to the interest that you'll get in the bank account over that year versus what you'd save by doing that.
And it does feel like we're coming to the time of year where, particularly for health insurance, they want your business. So there's lots of offers about 6 weeks free or a month free, or you get a $200 Visa gift voucher or something like that to switch.
Definitely. And that goes to my point around don't be loyal to your existing, because they're not going to offer those to you. They only offer them to the new customers, those 1 month free and different vouchers and bits and pieces.
Yeah, okay. What about other types of insurance? Of course, we've got life and income protection insurance available as well. And I might just say, if you do have a question for Karen, make sure you let us know. 8223 0000 is the number to call.
Yeah, so there's a couple of different types of life insurance. So we've got life, or what we refer to death insurance. We've also got total and permanent disability insurance. So if you have an accident or an illness and can't ever work again, there's lump sums that you can be paid there. You can also insure your salary as well. So we call that income protection. So all of those three types of insurances, you can either purchase a policy in your own name, which you pay for out of your cash flow, or you can also have those types of covers through your superannuation fund. And one of the benefits of having it through your superannuation fund is that you're not actually paying it from your cash flow. It's coming out from the returns and the balance that your employer's putting in for contributions. So that can kind of help free up some cash flow, particularly in these times when expenses have gone up.
Do you get ripped off if it's going through your super? If it's not coming out of your pocket every week or month, are they charging you more?
They're not actually charging you more. Okay. Sometimes you're actually getting less. So depending on your employer super fund, quite a lot of them have incentives and bonuses. I also recommend having a look at your employee benefits as well, because quite a lot of employers will have some extra discounts or concessions on those types of insurances, or they have a plan for members that have a discounted rate. So I kind of feel like it could actually almost be the opposite of being ripped off. It's like you're taken care of a little bit more. They don't all do that, but they can access those wholesale rates, so they tend to be a bit cheaper.
Okay, yeah, because I think at the moment paying any extra money, I certainly couldn't afford income protection. each month at the moment. Everything's just going up. So
that's right.
If it can come out of your super, although you don't want to fall into the trap of using your super for everything.
No, that's right. So sometimes, and these insurances, the amount that you actually insure yourself for, they change over time depending on your circumstances. So younger families need more insurance because they've got higher risk when they're looking after little children. But as you get older, you build more assets, you pay down your debt, you don't need as much insurance. So it's really important to review how much you've actually got in cover through every age and stage of your life.
Okay, let's go to house insurance briefly. I'm assuming a bit similar to car. If you've got locks and
that's right.
Cameras, do cameras
reduce
your premium?
Security monitoring does help. So having all of those things, deadlocks really help. Window locks help as well.
Oh yeah.
So all of those protections on your home can definitely reduce your premiums down as well.
And I guess if you can bundle it up with car insurance too, then you might get some sort of a discount?
Absolutely, yeah. So there are a few general insurers that can bundle all of those together, a car, home, contents, property, and then getting those discounts, which can be really helpful.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time, Karen. Before you go, though, I have a very unrelated insurance question for you because we're about to talk about Amy Stadium, footy park at West Lakes. Charles Sturt Council had a meeting last night to try and talk about the future of it, and they're asking people for their suggestions. They want to know, what do you want us to do with this site once the Crows head out? And my idea is for a museum of sort of modern South Australian history, or a contemporary museum for South Australia. And I'm asking people what they would like to see in a museum like that. What is the one go-to item that must be included in a museum of South Australia's history? Do you have any ideas?
Oh, I love that. Firstly, I love the concept of the museum.
Oh, thank you. I'll see what the council think very soon.
I have got a very sweet tooth, so my response would be a giant replica of the Balfour's frog cake.
Ooh. Do you like the original recipe frog cake?
Yeah, look, they're quite sickly with all
they're
that.
They're very sweet.
Very sweet. So it's kind of one of those things. You cut in half, you have half now, half later.
See, there we go. She's always thinking ahead. She's always trying to save you $1. You don't need to buy two. Buy one and cut it in half.
That's right.
That's why she's one of your cost busters, Karen Ely from Women Talking Finance. Thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure, Stacey.
Karen Ely comes in regularly for our Cost Busters segment, and very soon we will be talking about that idea for Footy Park, but I want to hear your ideas as well. 8223 0000. What would have to go in a museum of South Australia's history?
It's been a long summer for the Power, and now their campaign starts against the Eagles.
Rioli snaps a goal! It's there!
After a disappointing end last year, Power fans will settle for nothing less than a solid win.
That's better, Tom. Port Adelaide back in front.
Sunday Arvo on 5AA. The Power have a big point to prove as they host the Eagles.
This will bring the house down.
AFL Live on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Motoring with Adelaide Hills Motor Group.
If you're looking to get more out of your motoring, head up Glen Osmond Road and spend some time here at Adelaide Hills Motor Group. Take a look through the range of pre-owned premium SUVs, 4x4s, 7-seaters and more. Treat yourself and take a look at the Ineos Grenadiers on display while you're here. Everyone here is a serious motoring enthusiast, no salespeople. They just want to get you on the road in something special. Come and take a look. See you soon at Adelaide Hills Motor Group, Glen Osmond Road at Fullerton.
Hi, I'm Bronte Manuel from Toop & Toop Real Estate. Since March 2020, the value of an average home in Adelaide South has grown by $288K, in the north $243K, and in the west by $273K. And the median price in central Adelaide and the hills has soared by $358K. From Westbourne Park to Wynvale, from Kensington Park to Kilkenny, we've led the charge with 52 suburb records, more than any other agency in South Australia. Go to toop.com.au to find out more.
Australia's leading manufacturer of wheels to the mining, civil and transport industries is Rimex. And now Rimex has a local certified workshop right here in Adelaide. Wheel repairs, testing and certification, custom wheel builds and a full range of spares and accessories. Rimex. Tyre supplier to the transport and civil industries, plus the Boto range of OTR tyres. Rimex. Better wheels, built strong with proven performance. Rimex. Call 707 885 or visit rimex.com.au.
You've heard the phrase seeing is believing. Well, we do believe it at Rossdale Homes, especially if you're searching for your dream home. Don't just browse floor plans and virtual tours. Experience the real deal at our display villages. Walk through the home, feel the space, appreciate our finishes, and see the latest design trends. Don't just imagine your future home. Experience it for real at Rossdale Homes. For locations and open times, visit rossdalehomes.com.au because trust is a must.
I'm a selfish prick. I drive home after drinking because I'd rather spend money on booze than a cab. Because I can't be bothered going back to my car in the morning. Because I've done it before. Because I can handle the booze and I only had a couple. I drive home after drinking. Yeah, I am a selfish prick.
Think road safety. A message from the Government of South Australia.
Local news and information first. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Good afternoon, Mel Usher with the latest news headlines. Warren Treadray has lost his $5.7 million unfair dismissal case against the Nine Network. WorkSafe is investigating the death of a man who died in a rockfall at the Ballarat gold mine. The federal government is distancing Australia from a US push to outlaw TikTok. And in sport, it's selection night for Port and the Crows ahead of their season openers. The 5AA forecast, a shower or two this afternoon, cloud clearing tomorrow and 30. Right now it's 26. We'll have more news at 4 and as it happens on 5AA.
Always informative. 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Hop into Cheap as Chips this Easter for a happy Cheapster.
Cheap as chips.
Milky Bar or Kit Kat Easter Casket, always a hit at just $7.99 each. Look and feel cool with a 30% off all C&G summer clothing. And don't miss these cheap everyday deals. Lynx deodorant, 2 for $7. And pick up 2 65-gram Cadbury favourites, a hot buy at 2 for just $10. Live cheaper this Easter with Cheap as Chips.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
5AA Afternoons with Stacey Lee.
28 minutes to 4 here on 5AA, and we are talking Footy Park. Footy Park, we know the Crows are moving out of there at some point. They will get to Theberton eventually, once that process is sorted. And Charles Sturt Council wants some ideas on what should go there. But before we talk about what we think should go there, I want to talk about your memories of Footy Park, Amy Stadium. Was it, the barbecues out the back? Was it sitting in the grandstand watching one of your favourite players? Footy finals, Sandful finals, so many concerts there. ABBA played there, I think. Maybe it was not an overly positive memory of sitting in your car, waiting to get out of that car park after a game. Someone inevitably got bogged in the mud in front of you. What are your memories at Footy Park? We asked some of the legends around the 5AA office who spent a lot of time there.
A great memory for me was going to see Dire Straits, who were a massive band in the 80s. 1986 at Footy Park, just a sensational crowd. Absolutely loved it. But other than that, just winning 88, 89, 90, 92, 94, 95, 96.
A nightmare for me as a Crows fan, but Angus Momfrey's, the 90-degree bounce that won them the showdown will never be forgotten.
Oh, I just love getting to the Crow Shed after the game with Dad. I remember those cold nights, but it was all good fun when we won, and didn't really enjoy the ride home when we didn't.
I was basically the car parks. Everyone's having barbecues, kids kicking the football before, after the game. Very social, community-minded environment. Yeah, we should do more of it. It's my first time I ever got knocked out.
Winning the premiership and always remembering the speeches made afterwards.
Oh, that's awesome. For me, it's got to be the 2004 Port prelim against St Kilda, of course. As a Port fan, I'd have to say that, wouldn't I? 26 to 4, 8223 0000 is the number to call. I want to hear your Amy Stadium memories, and Graham from Tennyson's on the phone. Hi, Graham. Oh.
Talk to you. You're one of the new ones that I haven't talked to yet, because normally I'm working at this time, but I got home a bit earlier this time. So, I kind of like your idea about a museum, like history, but do I'll ask you a question. This will preempt what I'm going to say.
Okay.
Do you know much about how West Lakes was built?
No, I don't.
This is my point. There should be part of that little museum showing what an enormous project it was to turn useless swampland. And as a kid, I'm going to give my age away here, unfortunately. I was about a 12-year-old child, and if you know Trimmer Parade, it was a dirt road back then when they started building West Lakes. How they did it to make a lake, they have an inlet where the salt water comes in. There's a huge pipe, because I lived at Seaview Road, Tennyson, and we overlooked Grange Oval, and we overlooked that's swampland. And I watched this thing go up over a period of years. For it to get transformed that way, it was simply amazing. There's lots of stuff on YouTube, but I think the council should strongly put part of that to teach people how the thing, because it was one of the biggest projects in the world.
Huge effort, yeah. Okay, all right. Thanks, Graham. Thank you for the call. Nice to
No
hear
problem.
from you. Appreciate it. That's Graham in Tennyson. Well, let's see what the local council wants. The CEO of the City of Charles Sturt is Paul Sutton, and he joins you now. Hello, Paul. Thanks for your time.
Hi, Stacey Lee. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. So you're asking for people's advice on what they want. Is that right?
Yeah, that's for sure. That's the case. We will take ownership of that oval at some point when it's vested in council. So at the moment, it's owned by Commercial and General, the developer who's developing the West. We obviously want to make sure that we've got great amenity for the people living in that area. But we also have a significant sporting responsibility, and we've had a proposal from the Sandful, who are interested in having a licence to use the oval at some points during the day, because as you mentioned in the intro, at some point they need to vacate Featherton as the Adelaide Crows will move in there. So there's a bit of a game of chess and a bit of a game of Tetris to really find places for everybody, and this is one of the locations, or their preferred location, where they would like to relocate to.
Okay, and so does the council have a position on that?
No, we don't at this point. We've conducted one round of consultation on that, which council received a report on Tuesday evening. Following that, council wants to have a bit of a workshop, discuss and digest the outcomes of that a little bit more, but we've got a responsibility to our local community to make sure we're providing suitable open space, but we also want to sort of do what we can in terms of accommodating young footballers, both male and female, that need somewhere to play as well.
When will you need to make a decision on the Sandful request?
Well, the Sandful are in that difficult position where they've got a limited time frame, so they're the ones who have the clock ticking, if you like, and that's associated with the Crows development happening at Featherton. So they would like it as soon as possible, but we need to follow the due process and allow everyone to have their say as part of that.
So you had one round of consultation. How did that go? Did you get many responses?
The response rate was not significant. We had about a 6% response rate, which is not huge. Essentially, we consulted on two aspects. So one part's what's called a CLMP, a Community Land Management Plan, which determines the type of uses and type of activities that can occur on a piece of council land. And then the second part was the licence that the Sandful would like to put in place. And really that provides the outline of what their use might be and what they've identified as they would like to have up to, so at peak times in the year, 20 hours during the week. So that would be typically from 4 to 8 p.m. as a maximum, and then 5 hours over a weekend, so whether that be on a Saturday or Sunday. So around about sort of at their peak usage, 20 hours during the week and 5 hours on the weekend.
All right.
But there'd be times of the year where it would obviously be significantly less than that.
And you'll be doing another round of consultation?
Well, following the workshop, that'll be a decision for council to make, but yes, I would very much expect so.
Okay. Well, we'll stay following it, Paul. Thanks for your time.
Yes, just if I could make just a last point, there's a little bit of a concern that there would be Sandful League games being played there, and that's certainly not the case. The Sandful are intending this to be essentially a base for their state under 16 and under 18 boys and girls programs, and then occasionally their sort of First Nations and multicultural talent programs would play there as well. Okay. So it's very much about junior football.
But no league games played there. That's not in the proposal.
Correct.
And you could write that into any agreement, couldn't you?
We're working through what a draft licence might look so that we can be transparent with the community about this is what the proposal from the SANFL looks like, and so we will consult on that so that people know exactly what's detailed.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for the time. Paul Sutton, CEO of Charles Sturt Council. 21 minutes to 4 here on 5AA. 8223 0000 is the number to call. What do you think should go at Amy Stadium? We've got Paul in West Lakes on the phone. I think a different Paul this time. Hello.
Hi, Stacey. Yes, I'm definitely a different Paul. I'm a local resident. There are a lot of us here that are worried about this issue. I know there were 4 deputations last night from residents, all about not wanting the SANFL back in there. The SANFL left. They should stay away. That facility should be turned over to the community for community use, not to have somebody like the SANFL come in and dictate when we can and can't use the facility. There's a lack of green space there. That green space should be for the local residents. As you know, there's a whole new housing development that's gone in there. There's not a lot of space for those people. They're in small apartments. So that is an area where they should be able to use it at their leisure without having the SANFL say, well, you can use it at this time or that time, but you can't use it then. And also that building that the Crows have, that could be turned into a magnificent facility, because there are none here at West Lakes. You go to St Clair, you've got basketball courts and everything there, tennis courts and an oval. Why can't we have that at West Lakes? Because it's sadly lacking. There's not a lot of community free space in that area, and all they're doing meanwhile, and the council are loving it because they're making lots of money out of it, is cramming more and more people in there. So don't let the SANFL back in there. As I said, I wasn't involved last night, but I know a lot of people are up in arms about it, and that the SANFL and the council are talking behind closed doors.
What's it used for at the moment, Paul? Does anyone in the community, are they able to use the oval right now?
No, it's the Crows Oval,
so
and it's
not
their
like
Crows
it would
building.
be a big loss for SANFL to use it. If the Crows are using it now and then the SANFL use it, it's not like you're losing green space because you don't really have it at the moment.
No, but Stacey, that's the whole argument. There is no green space there, so that is the green space. So if you drive through that west development, all you see is building with people crammed in 3-4-story high apartment buildings. There's no green space. That should be green space for that. There's nowhere there. So let the people actually have it. Let the community actually have it, and use that building. I mean, there's a swimming pool in that building. You could put basketball courts in there. Utilise the swimming. Make it a community centre for the community, because actually that's what I thought we pay our council rates for, is for community amenities. And if the SANFL gets a hold of all of that, then the community will be on a part-time basis whenever it suits the SANFL to let us in. So I disagree, and I think you'll find a lot of residents think the same way. Don't let them in. Give it back to the people. We all pay the rates.
All right. No, well, it's going to become an issue. It sounds like it's the new Theberton, that's for sure. Paul, appreciate the call. As always, love to hear your thoughts. 8223 0000. Let's go to Dean in Craigmore. Hi, Dean.
How you going?
Good.
When the Crows aren't training, there's no fence around it. You can go there and walk your dog or do whatever you want. So, where's the issue? I think that West Lakes they've taken on the West Torrens Council 5031 thing about this. To be honest,
so you think let the SANFL in?
Well, the SANFL's going to use it for not much time at all. To be honest. So, like the umpires and everything like that, and the under 16, 17 and 18s are going to use it, and they're going to use it a heck of a lot less than what the Crows use it now. And if you're a resident down there, I can tell you there's no fences up. So you can go on to the old football park. So I don't know what all the hullabaloo is, and people saying, "Oh, keep the SANFL out." They shifted. Well, hang on a minute. If it wasn't for the SAFL, you wouldn't have anything down there.
Okay, all right. That's Dean in Craigmore. Thank you for your thoughts. 8223 0000 is the number to call. I'll take more of them after this.
Go Vita, your local health food shops. Over 30 years health and wellness experience and over 300 natural health practitioners specialising in you.
Hi, I'm Beck from Go Vita, Monopara. Try Natural Road hemp seeds, 450 grams, now $16.95, save 15%. Sprinkle these nutrient-packed seeds on your salads for that extra health boost. Always read the label and follow the directions for use.
Go Vita, Colonnades, Fairview Green, Marion, Mount Barker, Monopara, Semaphore and Tanunda.
Royal Gala apples, you'll come a Royal Gala apples with me.
Aldi's Royal Gala apples are now just $2.99 per kilo. And Aussie as. Aldi, good, different.
Nothing holding you back with no stamp duty, no third party, no registration. Across the model year 23 Volvo mild hybrid range. Book a 48-hour test drive today. Terms and conditions at volvocars.com.au. Volvo.
Want to rev up your energy levels without energy drinks or carb-heavy snack bars? Do you care about the health of your heart? Caruso's Vitamin K2 plus Ubiquinol to the rescue. Caruso's Vitamin K2 plus Ubiquinol is a game-changing formula with powerhouse nutrients to support energy production, maintain your energy levels, and maintain the health of your heart. Rev up your energy and get more out of your day with Caruso's Vitamin K2 plus Ubiquinol. Available from leading pharmacies and health stores. Always read the label and follow the directions for use.
This is RB Day for Supercraft Bedding with Tales from the Bedroom. The modern world confuses me sometimes. A mate of a mate said, I got a single-sided mattress and it's already dipping. And I said, well, he didn't get it from Supercraft Bedding, they refused to make them. You see, our two-sided mattresses last twice as long because you can flip them. Why would you want half a mattress? Use your noggin next time you're shopping for a mattress. See Supercraft Bedding, building better flippable beds. 42 Richmond Road, Keswick.
Recording receipts? But in a snap. Stashing them in your glove box? But storing them online instead. With Xero, it's business but better. Start your free 30-day trial at xero.com.
Dad?
Yes, mate?
When are we moving into our new built home?
Soon, buddy.
But when is soon?
Soon, mate.
But you said that 6 months ago.
I know, mate.
And 6 months before that.
I know, mate.
Dad?
Yes?
Mum was right. We should have built with Rendition Homes.
I know, mate.
Make it, build it, live it sooner than you think with Rendition Homes. Pictures and display home locations at renditionhomes.com.au.
Hearing Australia's Hearing the Nation tour is coming to Adelaide, delivering free hearing checks for adults. Search Hearing the Nation for more.
Hearing Australia.
Conditions apply under the Australian Government Hearing Services Program.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
5AA Afternoons with Stacey Lee.
13 minutes to 4 here on 5AA, and we're talking about Footy Park. It's got a huge response from many of you. The future of Footy Park once the Crows move out. Charles Sturt Council has done some consultation on it, but they want some ideas from people about what should go at Footy Park and if the sandful should be allowed to return. 8223 0000 is the number to call. Let me know your thoughts. Also getting some texts here. 0448 08 13 95. Wally the Walnut sent a text because we heard from Paul earlier. He's a local resident and he doesn't think the sandful should be allowed back. He thinks it should be open green space for the community so kids can go out and kick a ball and the community can use it because there's lots of towns and new apartments and townhouses in the area and there's no parks around. Wally the Walnut, though, on the text line says the sandful was there before you, Paul, and people bought their small homes, so toughen up. Tim on the text line also says, I saw kids kicking the footy on the oval yesterday, and that sort of flows into what Keith in Findon says. He said, hi Stacey, the general public do have access to the oval when the Crows aren't training, so I wonder if that would be the case if the sandful do return to Footy Park as well. 8223 0000. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Peter from Fulham Gardens is on the phone. Hi, Peter.
Hi, how you going?
Good.
Hey, I'd just like to say, right, so the SANFL sold all that land to commercial and general. So they own none of it. And where the Crows building is, when the Crows move out, that company, Commercial and General, own that building. Nothing else. And that building doesn't even come up to fire code because it was built before the new rules come in. That cladding, all the cladding on the outside isn't even fire rated. So no one else can even move into that building. So,
but the council does get a say in this. That's why the council is doing consultation on it, or has done consultation. So they do get a say in what happens there.
But that building, Commercial in General own that building. So what has it got to do with the council? If he wants to knock it down, he knocks it down.
Do they own it, or
Just
did
like
they
he
just
knocked
build
the
it?
Oval down.
Were they just the developer who built it for the Crows?
No. That was built back in when the Crows first started, back in 90, whatever they started. That was built for the Crows.
Yeah.
So it's a revolving, like the SANFL sold all that land, so they can't expect they'd have to buy it back off Commercial in General.
All right, well, we'll have to see how it goes, Peter. Thanks for the call, Peter, in Fulham Gardens there. 8223 0000 is the number to call to have your say on what you think should go there. This idea of a museum of modern history was one that I thought was a good idea, so I thought it wise to check in with Greg Mackey. Let's bring in Greg Mackey now, Chief Executive of the History Trust of South Australia. Greg, you've been calling for a museum of South Australia's history for some time now. Would this be a good location for that?
The location that we have chosen is the Freemasons Grand Lodge on North Terrace, which puts it very, very close to the other state collecting museums. And we have the money to make it happen at Freemasons. But sports history, while it is indeed certainly an intended part of AMOSA, if there are locations elsewhere and an organisation has the funds to operate it, we welcome it to the community of local museums, because there are dozens of museums in Greater Metropolitan Adelaide.
Because we don't want to lose Amy Park. You know, it's got so much history there. It's got so much sporting history. Everyone's got a memory.
Yeah, exactly. You know, U2, ABBA. You know, it's got an incredibly rich history.
Yeah. Footy finals, SANFL finals. You know, barbecues out the back. Even if it's just getting stuck in the car park on the way out after a game because someone's bogged somewhere. You know, there's so many stories to tell.
So many stories, so many memories. And, you know, the great thing, Stacey, about South Australia is we have, in addition to the tens of thousands of years of Aboriginal occupation and expansion and living with the country for the last almost 200 years, and we're getting very close to the bicentenary of European settlement. We're within the planning horizon for wonderful things for the South Australian community to take pride in and to remember the past and help shape the future.
And so important to do. I mean, we have the History Festival coming up very soon, and I just think these times are so important for us to sit back and reflect on the people and the events that shaped our state's history, because we need to celebrate it.
Absolutely, Stacey, and you know, and your listeners who are familiar with the History Festival, this is like the Fringe and like the Sala Festival. It is a grassroots up exercise. People share the risk and they register and they present events, and as long as they're not racist, sexist, homophobic or nasty to people, they are welcome to be included. And in May of this year, and we will be launching the actual physical program and the online program in early April, we've got over 500 events registered, and there's thousands of people who volunteer their time to make this happen. And last year's festival, we saw over 180,000 individual attendances. Now, some people went to 30 things, some people went to one thing, but that is the largest history festival in the world.
You know, we're asking today, what's the must take? What would you love to see in a museum of South Australia? My idea is a room dedicated to our pigeon overlord, the structure that's in Rundle Mall, the big pigeon. So what would be your must take? What's your item that we have to see in a museum of South Australia's history?
Are you asking me, or
yeah? No, I have to ask.
Asking me? Well, you know, the archetypal symbol of my childhood was hanging from the Hills hoist and spinning around and plugging my crystal radio onto the metal wire to create a signal so that I could listen with my one single tiny little earpiece to 5KA back then, and their pop music programs. There are so many things we have, and we can't display it publicly because it's delicate and it needs to be in a climatically controlled environment. But we've got Colonel Light's original plan for Adelaide. That plan is one of the most famous plans of anything in human history, and we are the proud custodians of it. We operate, as I know you know, the National Motor Museum up at Birdwood, the South Australian Maritime Museum at Port Adelaide, and the Migration Museum on Kintore Avenue. And they are 3 lenses, but they are only 3 lenses, and so only the very tiniest part of our collection gets a chance to be interpreted and shared with South Australians. The rest of the time it ends up in the veritable Indiana Jones Raiders of the Lost Ark warehouse that goes on forever.
Sounds
stories waiting to be given life.
Yeah, I hope we can make it happen. I hope to see the Hills hoist and the little radio hanging off it. I hope to see the room dedicated to the Rundle Mall pigeon. I hope we can make this all happen, Greg. Thanks so much for your time this afternoon. That's Greg Mackey from the SA History Trust. 4 minutes to 4 here on 5AA. Rowie and Timmy G are on with you after 4 for the sports show. I wonder if they have any thoughts on what should go at Footy Park once the Crows leave. Someone here on the text line, Ian, says, "Hi Stacey, the Crows building is actually only about 15 years old. It cost $20 million, but it's already dated. I live in West Lakes. I go there regularly. I use the ground when the Crows aren't training. Bring back the Sandful." So that's Ian, and I just had a thought. So if the Sandful can't move to Footy Park, then that means they can't move from Theberton. Does that mean the Crows can't go to Theberton? Does that mean all of this has been a waste of time? I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it. But anyway, that's something to leave you with because I do have to get out of here. It's time for me to leave. But Rowie and Timmy G on with you after 4 for the sports show. Thanks so much.
G'day, Timmy G here. I tell you what, it's that easy to get the 5AA Player app. 3 steps are, go to wherever you download apps, find the 5AA Player,